Punk rock, a genre that was born out of rebellion, counterculture, and a revolt against mainstream tropes within music and culture, has since been subjected to perhaps some of the cringiest pieces of music within underground and alternative culture. Whether it be a 5'4" wannabe emo manlet grifting the sound and style to appeal to underage girls on TikTok, or a band deciding to go political 20 years after their prime by spouting out some of the most unintentionally funny lyricism I've ever heard over a poorly made cover. Today we're going to attempt to find the cringiest punk song in existence. Although punk is considered a very serious genre of music by loads of people, I think punk can be cringe, and I think there are many songs within punk that are incredibly cringe. So I asked my Discord, my community tab, and there are some donations that have skipped the queue on the stream thus far for the cringiest punk songs they can find. So we can see if we can find the cringiest punk song. TX2, I Would Hate Me Too. I have managed to avoid TX2 outside of seeing poorly made YouTube thumbnails, apart from the odd Instagram reel of him just being heinously cringe with like some like goth star or something. Already, like, the chord progression, there's a chord progression that was dated in the 70s. Yeah. I relate to this heavily, chat. Let's go.
Where do I start?
He can't sing either, like, what the f***? I swear, like, I know pop punk gets a lot of shit, but there's a lot of really good pop punk music. There's loads. And it's had a resurgence. Like, there's Hot Mulligan, like, there's all of these bands that make incredible music. And, like, I don't understand what this person had to be inspired by to make this kind of shit. Is it grifting pop punk? I don't know. The drums as well. These are programmed, right? Oh, come on, at least, like, double time it on the drums. So boring. So boring. Chat, I don't know if anybody used to have music lessons, but you know when you're, like, getting the songs for the gradings, and you have to play along to the songs, and they're like really like badly re-recorded versions of like really popular songs. That is what this sounds like, or like simplified. It's exactly what this sounds like. TX2, brother, who is this man? Oh, he's touring. His music isn't that bad, and his lyrics are relatable. Manufactured rage bait, manufactured for the tween teen girl TikTok audience. I don't think we're gonna get worse than that, to be honest. This is just e-punk, and it sounds good. Even if you can find sonic similarities between the TX2 song and this song comes from a place that's actually genuine. It's not grifting. A lot of the e-punk artists are like entirely chronically online individuals that are kind of making punk music for a digital age. I think people have a lot of misconceptions about e-punk, thinking it is all just like incel core. It's just not. But like, let's say e-punk and a lot of the e-punk bands present themselves as cringe. They're supposed to be cringe, you know? But it's an example of being cringe as being free, as being base. Alright, with TX2, he's not trying to be cringe. He's trying to be genuine, and it comes off as cringe. These guys are trying to be cringe, and it means they're free, and it means they're based. Okay, e-punk's a scene where a lot of the songs sound similar, but like, what music scene really exists apart from like really avant-garde ones where the idea is to not specifically do that? And I always find it endearing, and they're making it for the people that enjoy it, you know?
With holiday rentals and hotels, Booking.com has something.
You know what, chat? Let me cook. There's an advert for washing up powder, for detergent, for washing clothes, and they have kids running around jumping in the mud before their dad whips them with a belt. That. And then they shove all the clothes in the washing machine. That's what this music is for. Okay, this is actually quite bad. Oh, is it though? Is it quite bad? This is a difficult one. Is this bad? Oh, the thing is, it's good for like 5 seconds, and then it's the vocal style. Stop gaslighting yourself into liking these. I like music, man. What we can say about this is different. It's going in a particular direction that isn't the same as most things within punk. It makes me cringe because the vocal performance is not very good. But the sentiment behind it, apart from probably the lyricism, to be honest, considering the name of the song. This one's bad because of the context. If you don't know already, Iggy Pop is like notorious for young girls, and there's a lot of evidence. I will link a video explaining this whole thing so it can kind of give context to this song. And this is going back to like OG punk right here. This is a true example of punk cringe. This gets so much worse because now he's talking about of age women at the moment. Even without like the context, this is still pretty bad.
So
Like,
I have occasion to visit the high schools and junior high schools and other centers of learning in states
the
of
high
America.
schools and junior high schools. Keep in mind what this song is about.
The young girls who attend these
The young girls.
places and
This song's just pretty bad anyway. There was a live performance of this in England where he replaced high school with primary school. Literally, like I left primary school when I was 12 or something, so 12 and under. How did someone not say anything about this when it came out? Well, like when it came out was around like the same time. I mean, it was just way more normalized back then, this kind of behavior. Like being a nonce in the music industry was way more normalized. Iggy Pop kind of turned me off from proto-punk. There's still a lot of good stuff in there, but that like Iggy Pop is a complete groomer, like completely, in a way that's like kind of inexcusable. But you have the choice to separate the art from the artist. I struggle with him. The solo Sid Vicious song, this is awful. This is really bad. This is when they tried to, like, the Sex Pistols were really starting to implode as a band, and they tried to like send Sid off on a solo career as like a singer. But I don't know if it's Sid Vicious like really like a poser per se. Like he was very active in the punk scene within London before he got brought into the Pistols. He just got brought into the Pistols for his look, you know? And he obviously like just couldn't play bass. He was a poser musician, but I don't know if he was technically a poser punk. Can't sing at all. And I know like punk's like you don't need to be able to sing well to do punk, but this is bad. In punk, there is merit from music that sounds like shit, but the reason I think this is cringe, the fact that this was literally made to kind of manufacture Sid as a solo star to continue to pump money out of him. This was made only for the money and for the image of Sid Vicious. Well, probably one of the first ever punk rock cash grabs if you don't consider the Pistols just to be a big old punk rock cash grab, so... Oh, it's not punk. Yeah, you did. How old was he when he made this? Somebody pull that up, please. Yeah, I agree that this song is so cringe and so bad that it isn't. I love this shit. After some research, Ronald was 30 years old the year this came out. That's insane. Oh, what Ronnie Radke wrote the video game song whilst in jail. This one's really bad. Out of touch politically, like... It's just Joe Rogan talking points over and over again in like a punk song. So bad. I feel like, okay, hear me out, chat. When punks make things that are political, I think they have to be within the kind of the trenches, within the mud, not incredibly rich musicians like Fall Out Boy are. Yeah, I know the George Floyd line. I know it's coming. I feel like if a group of musicians come out of the hardcore scene, because Fall Out Boy did, get to the point of being global superstars, and then decide to come back and do a cover of We Didn't Start the Fire and make it political. He's trying to say there's a link between Obama and the explosion in Lebanon. I like Fall Out Boy as well, very much so. They hold a special place in my heart. The George Floyd line was not needed. They're just mentioning events that occur at this point. Woodstock 99 and George Floyd mentioned in the same song. They just don't need to call out Tom DeLonge like that. There's no need, mate. Let the man believe in fucking aliens. Why can't Tom DeLonge just believe in aliens? It's jokes. Let him. SSRI. Just say. What else? World Trade Second Plane. What else do I have to say? That was great. I haven't listened to that for a few years. Fantastic stuff. Billy Woods could never, yeah. Oh my god. I didn't think that would tickle me so much. The guy from MCR is related to Joe Rogan. Yeah, I remember hearing about that. That's crazy. Two opposite ends of the spectrum in terms of human beings. This meathead, bold. He used to be smart, but he has degraded in intelligence so heavily. Looks like a fucking wrapped up turkey. Red. Bold head, HGH, and then Gerard Way, who has gone through tone death. You do get it a little bit with the early Descendants songs, and you're like, it's a little bit weird. But you gotta remember the age in which they were and the time in which it was made. Descendants are still a top tier band. Like, I think they've changed a lot of their lyrics, and they don't play a lot of the songs now, because obviously they're a dad, and Milo Ackerman is a scientist, and has spent more of his life as a scientist than the lead singer of Descendants. Hasn't aged the best, but it's a product of its time. I wouldn't call it cringe. Kind of hard when you have these classic bands. It's the same for the next song, so the lyricism of this next song is pretty f***ed up, if you really listen to it. I don't think many people do. The baby killing isn't as bad. Yeah. But it's Misfits. Just angsty metaphors or something edgy. I don't know, it's pretty cut and dry. Seems pretty cut and dry to me. Show me meat, so I'm streaming. Oh! That's crazy. Let's go! That's fucked up, man. It always has to be the most generic pop punk chord progressions. And you can argue that a lot, like pretty much everything's been done in pop punk, but it's just not true. The new Hot Mulligan stuff, the chord progressions are great. Even the new Story So Far stuff. So much auto-tune, man. Just not needed. It's like half the people end up dating. Oh, fuck off, MGK. You don't got nothing like that. You ain't got nothing like that. You ain't packing down there, and I can tell. How has grifting made its way into emo? Because it's so cringe. Travis Barker pop punk industrial complex needs to be studied, but Travis Barker is a legend, you know? I have no words for this, really. You didn't know MGK. You fell in love with Megan Fox, man. Mainstream sellout. F off. Emo grifting is cringe, but unfortunately it's the way to pander to young sad people. It's just not a cool subculture though. But I guess it's just for children. Apart from based Midwest emo. Midwest emo is based. Real emo is based. Emo core is based. Emo is just based. It's just like... Do you think that bit at the end was staged? MGK was in the recording studio. He slams his fist against the desk. He's like, that did not sound playful enough. You're going to do it again, and you're going to do it until you get it right. I don't get the idea of wanting to live with an emo. Anyone who's even read 2 lines of Cobain. Yeah, I mean, I've known people who are pretty f***ed up in a way that this guy's describing stereotypically. Scrams is based, yeah. Emo violence is based as well. Yeah, I want to get the razor blade guitar. I would for a joke. So bad, man. What, like, yeah. So it's so damaging because with the razor blade guitars, because emo, it's emotional music. It doesn't inherently mean depressed, sad, I want to kill myself music. And it never really has. It's just people who are like taking it and seeing it as something that it really isn't, which is completely fucked. And the fact that MGK is thinking it's a good idea to take advantage of that by selling a guitar that glorifies, it pisses me off, man. And these people get like celebrated for this shit, and these people get glazed for this shit. I understand, but when I was a kid and I was into this kind of stuff, I would have been able to see through a razor blade guitar so easily. What is that encouraging young people to do? That piece of shit have single coil pickups? It wouldn't surprise me. Oh my god. Okay, we got a young blood up next. I got a bit heated there. What is this? It doesn't sound awful so far. It doesn't sound too bad so far.
Last relationship. It's alright, mate. I cry too.
That was awful. That was one of the worst usages of auto-tune I think I've ever heard. That was bad.
It's alright, mate. I cry too. Everybody online keeps saying I'm not really gay.
What? Owl City Yeah, this is just pop. How can these guys grift alternative when they're making music like this? Like, who are they influenced by? He's protruding his jawline as well. He's mewing. Why does Ozzy like him? I don't know. Ozzy doesn't know where the fuck he is. He doesn't know where he is or even what his own name is. He's going to make mistakes. What do we think is the worst out of everything we've gone through? I genuinely think the worst quality-wise was the Sid Vicious My Way. But it's supposed to be awful on purpose. It's kind of like one of those ones. The worst in terms of actual, like, ability to make me cringe, like genuinely make me cringe, is the Iggy Pop one. It's gotta be, just because of the context behind it. That's horrible, and it's just so like disgusting. TX2 Young Blood, yeah, but they're also kind of funny. Fall Out Boy had the worst song, unfortunately, but it was hilarious. Young Blood wasn't even punk. It was pop music. that was a pop song, completely and utterly. I don't like anything that kind of fetishizes subcultures or like just ruins subcultures and tries to take advantage of it. I think that's inherently cringe.